I'm excited for it.
And it's also going to stop us from probably covering nauseous for his Kazookids.
Fantastic.
Good times.
Fantastic. I'm just saying, if this game was put on North America, there'd be absolutely no problems with being a one-game series. But remember, guys, latency matters, even if it's just a couple milliseconds. We are going live right here. We're going to have the Pubstars on the Survivor side first, and we're going to have the Penguins on the Special Infected. I am done talking about Ping. Let's see how this goes. The first hit's going to be a Boomer going out right there, Hunter landing on a Spongy as well for a little bit of damage, so Stickman down top as well. The spit does not spread in the safe room. Let's do a quick roster rundown for the Pubstars. I think both these teams are 3-1, correct?
Indeed they are.
So for the Pubstars, we have Josie, Spongy, Soul, and Peter Griffin. Who do we have for the Penguins? Kiss me.
Over on Penguins, we have Sick, Lion, I believe that's Flav, and then, oh god, what was it, Fail? Something like that? Yeah, Fuel. I was close.
And we do have the first tank of the game for the Penguins up in the hands of Sick. So let's see if they can actually play this. I've seen a wipe in this area before, or if they decide to play it long. I mean, both somewhat work, but if the tank hits his hittables out of play, that's where things can start to be pretty bad. That huge wharf to the right there is just a car sinkhole, so if the tank were to hit anything out right there, he'd be forced just to commit him with whatever I guess he has.
Yeah, this is a pretty interesting tank. I actually haven't seen one played in a scrim yet. I haven't seen a team actually take it back to the safe room, I should say. A lot of teams kind of seem to want to take it up in the plant area here, which I don't really believe, or like, I should say. But I guess if you have one survivor up on the wall, you can actually completely block that wall off, and the SI can't spawn there. So it's not too shabby of a spot to take up that. Actually take it back in the safe room, as you mentioned. I can see, you know, if you don't get your cars in or if they go in the water, it's a pretty rough tank. I mean, SI have pretty good spawn coverage above the survivors because of the huge roof up there. But other than that, I mean, the tank probably won't have that much to work with. But there is going to be this Charger, Hunter, and a Jockey to go in with. One car has made its win. I don't believe the other car in there is actually hittable. But he's actually going to work the second car in as well. It's actually above the side. It almost knocks Ellis in the head.
Dead.
DD is nice, double charge.
Oh, this could be a 3-cap. However, they do manage to clear that Charger. Jockey getting M2 around. Everything got cleared. Tank does have a corner. He's about 2k HP left, and that Hunter is still going out one of the stars as well. Tank missing his punch there on a Spongy, finally able to land it. So an okay amount of damage going out on the Pubstars, and that another punch landing on the Nick. So that's a fair trade, I think, from a Special Infected since no hittables landed.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good. They were really lucky, actually, because that one hittable that he actually hit above the van almost came down and clocked Ellis in the back of the head, but luckily it didn't. Ellis would have been a little upset at that one, but no, they do actually manage to take the tank fairly well. I mean, they did take quite a bit of damage. It was spread nice and evenly throughout them, but they didn't get wiped, and that's probably what they're really happy about, is they were actually able to continue on through the map here, and you know, hopefully make it to the safe room. But we'll see what Team Pubstar can do here. Attack is coming in though. Hunter Smoker working the way in initially. Jockey coming in as a third wave, and then the Boomer coming in the background to wrap things up with that boom out onto Nick. So we'll draw in a little bit of horde here onto Pubstars, in specific Nick, but that shouldn't really slow them down. I mean, they have 2 sets of pills left on their beings. They all are around the 40-50 HP range though, so they might need to find a couple more sets of pills to keep everyone quick throughout the rest of this map.
Yeah, they should be able to find a couple of those maybe a little bit later on. They're almost about halfway through right now, and I think their damage bonus is still riding almost at 100%. I think it actually is 100% because they still have health on everybody here. Boomer does spawn up underneath right there, getting a single boom out onto Nick, and then the survivors, I think, are going to keep pushing off that, even though they can clear that horde. Nice skeet going out by Spongy onto that Hunter. Starter coming in, obliterated right there by the survivor of Team Pubstars. I'd also like to mention they were just either playing some kind of scrim or some kind of situation on a hot mess Seattle server in the United States, obviously showing that ping really does mean a lot in this game.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely does. I can sense the sarcasm, don't worry. But yeah, they're obviously trying to condition themselves for that higher ping. They're trying to, you know, learn what it feels like, get a nice sense of it before actually coming to the match here, which is good in them. You don't see many teams really willing to do that. Beautiful hold on to Nick, and that Jockey's going to also latch out there onto Ellis, trying to bring him down below, but that Smoker will do just that, brings Nick back down, and Coach has to go ahead and help escort him back up to the second story. But actually, that was a really nice smoke, actually. I didn't think that was going to land.
Let's see here, because they actually might be able to push and get that Witch, or is he trying to draw it from there? He is drawing it from there. Soul decided to draw Crown the Witch, which will also start the horde. Going in, getting a nice Crown on that Witch, who did curve a little bit there at the end. And again, they have their damage bonus completely intact. They're going to decide to walk back to the street here and probably take a hit or two. Smoker spawning up in the front, trying to make his way in. Smoker does manage when instantly cleared. Charger's going to get absolutely nothing. We do see a single boom going out onto Soul. Smoker's going to go on a nice tongue cut. Wow, boomed right there. And Pubstars making mincemeat of these SI for the most part after that tank.
Indeed, they haven't really suffered all much damage whatsoever. I mean, pretty much the biggest setback they had was that Smoker pull that landed on Nick and set him back down 1 story. Obviously, it could have been worse. It could have been a charge off the side railing that put him down 2 stories back down to the actual street level. So, it definitely was the best of the worst situations, and didn't really set them back that far yet again. They were able to take that witch in a fairly easy, comfortable position. But we'll see another attack gearing up here. Jockey Hunter with a boom spitter. Everything works its way in. One boomer gets, or boom gets a spit, one boom onto the coach. Spit goes down as well. Coach will eat a little bit of the spit puddle, but other than that, it doesn't seem like they took all that much damage other than that. The Hunter Jockey didn't land. And that should be safe for them. I don't believe any spawns. Closest is 6 seconds out. They should be able to make it their way into the safe before that SI can even grab a spawn.
There should be maybe one coming up for a scramble here that Smoker's going to try, but Coach should be able to work his way in. And that is the Pubstars making it for an 852 first map score here on their home server. So that's pretty much what you want to see from a team playing in a best-of-2 scenario to start out. And obviously the tank was pretty good in terms of the fact that it was able to get a few punches around. Obviously not the wipe that Pingwins probably would have wanted, but now, I mean, it's really going to see how they, like, play their survivor side playing with this massive ping disadvantage.
Indeed. So we'll see how it ends up going for Team Penguins now. Once again, over on the survivor side, see if they can actually also beat down the tank. But this tank, once again, it could be quite a doozy. I could see if you get the cars in there as the past tank did, but in better position to actually be usable. I could see it going very wrongly. And actually, we have the ready up bug happening. Peter Griffin, nonetheless, though, does ready up before the ready up actually goes live without him. But yeah, so we'll see Team Penguins over on the Survivors with Team at Pubstar over on the SI now. First attack coming in here. Boomerline's a single boom out onto Ellis. Hunter, Smoke working way in. Both working together to grab that pin out onto Ellis. Now he's common locked actually. Boomer did not proxy on him. If that proxied onto Ellis at that angle, it would have actually shot him back into the spit, which would have resulted in another 30-40 damage coming out from that spit. So we'll see how well Ellis can clear the common off himself and move up and catch up with his team. Nick is making headway though. He wants that tank up.
Yeah, I mean, the tank is going to come for Pubstars in the hands of Soul right now, and I believe during the game that we saw where it was Pubstars versus HCP last week, I remember Dane saying that he believed that Soul was one of the best players in that server. That's a lot of, you know, that's a high regard coming out for the kind of company that he was in. And Soul is going to try to work in his first hittable here. He actually could probably work in both these cars. I like his spray as well. Nice little emoji there on the floor. So this will be really good depending on what he decides to commit him with. Let's see, Boomer does manage to get a single boom there out onto Flaviax of the Penguins right there. And Soul's still just kind of working his hittables in. This is really interesting. He has 3 cars.
Yeah, the thing about where he's hitting the cars right now is there's an invisible wall above that bus. And it's a really big problem when you're trying to hit the cars over. And no, don't go for that. Oh my god, I thought if he dropped inside that water he was going to die, which he would have, but... Yeah, that bus actually has an invisible wall above. That's why you saw the other tank kind of hit his cars off the left side of it.
Oh,
is he really going to go for it?
Soul! Oh my gosh, he got it!
So you're killing me. I'm pretty sure if you touch that water, you die as a tank.
He does. Oh, this car is in. That car, oh, it was almost over the wall. That one's out. He still has that one hittable. He's still on first pass, actually abandoning his hittables here to push Team Penguins into the right-hand side, trying to get that hit over there. Hunter did open up a cap for him, but unfortunately, Soul's tank not exactly going the way that he planned, I'm pretty sure. Trying to get that corner onto Nick right there. Nice double cap landing, though. Tank gonna throw a rock right here. Got a couple of punches. Almost landed onto Rochelle, but again, that's a little bit less damage, I think, than the Pubstars would have expected. Those hittables looked pretty good to start, but then he hit a couple of them out of play. And if that one car had been just a little bit more over that wall, that would have probably been in cap instead of bounced off into the lagoon.
Indeed. And yet again, Penguins are not a bad team by any means. They are a very solid Russian team. And for you guys, I can't tell, obviously, it's a European versus Russian game. So they are fairly close together. We would have liked to seen one game, but you know, BO2 maybe it'll be a little bit more interesting. Maybe the Russians will you know, not only perform well on this server because they're actually performing really well, but Spit goes down on top of the survivors, pushing them back down the stairwell. Coach is stuck up top all alone, but there's no capital to really capitalize on top of that. The only capital they have is that Smoker, and that would be a pretty easy self-play for Coach because that Smoker is relatively dead. It has 105 HP.
Yeah, I mean, then their next hit should be up maybe by the time survivors get around the corner. But like, I just don't like I don't know. If they decided to send that spitter in there, they wouldn't have got one, but it would have been like a 3-cap with a boomer. Maybe the spitter is a little bit better here if they can get things to land from above. They're going to have that charter boomer and a smoker. Let's see if they elect to. Actually, they do manage to shoot the alarm car, and there's a charter landing in the back after that smoker as well. That's what I thought would be the right call to do if they were going to save that spitter, because they were able to land in that area, taking advantage of the map, getting a lot of damage onto Rochelle.
Yeah, that was very well played by them. That's going to drop the health bonus around 100 points, dropping it down to 590 or 529. So they're only 170 points up on Team Pubstars HB when they finish the map. And now a nice pull by the smoker going out to Nick. Unfortunately, the common actually stopped the Pulse Survivor from actually hitting the alarm car. So that's definitely not the smoker wanted. He was trying to set off that second alarm car as the first one was set off by the boomer that proxied on top of it. And yeah, so we'll see Team Penguins just holding out for a minute here, clearing out some common before trying to reverse the way past that alarm car in front of them.
Yeah, I mean, they should be able to hold this out, and then maybe if they don't trigger another one, they should be in okay shape. That smoker spawning up, trying to get a little bit of a long pull, but I don't think it's actually going to go that well. And the survivors can just kind of chill there now and fight the rest of the horde.
Dude, they can. The coach is attempting to shoot the smoker's foot. I think if he tried to shoot the foot, he would not hit the alarm car from here, because I think he's a little bit too far away for it to actually trigger. But the smoker is obviously still pre-spawned up below it. The coach is trying to pick something up, actually trying to pick the common. Rochelle does get the tongue cut though, and that it will be, oh no, they actually, oh wait, the soul shot, whatever. Car alarm is set off, spit down on top of the pounce, so Ellis is going to take a little bit more damage. That's directly to the damage bonus as well, as he had no solid left on him. Actually, I think he had a little bit of a sliver of solid. But regardless, it's going to drop the health bonus down to a 418. Now they're 60 points up on where Team Pubstar ended their round. So they are closing that gap slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely, yes, but they do have one survivor slow for the second half of this map. They obviously still have that witch to deal with as well, and they are fighting off another alarm car horde. It's going to be a smoker, hunter, charger, and a boomer. Yeah, I think we should see a hit right now because they're a little bit sepped. We have that smoker trying to land in the front, actually in the back rather, not going to land. The hunter did get quickly cleared. Smoker's going to go out and does get immediately cleared. Soul's charger going in, managing to land on Q-Sick in the front. Not very coordinated there, no spit to maximize that damage.
Indeed, so that was actually pretty well played there. They're going to have to push their way up to the witch. I believe they're running 3 shotguns, I think? Yeah, 3 and then the Uzi over on Nick. So any of these survivors could actually go for the crown while this attack's down, but the attack is actually coming back up now. It's going to be a spitter, jockey, and a hunter. So if Rochelle were to go for this crown right now, it would actually probably end in a very devastating manner. But no, she's going to wait for her team to actually regroup with her before they go for this.
Penguins' bonus is a little bit higher right now, maybe by about 30 points. Hunter, smoker, spitter, jockey coming, deciding to hit right now. Nice double cap landing for a second. Jockey going in, trying to troll coach, but they do get the M2 before that goes out. Now the witch should be pretty much free for Rochelle, and that is going to be the draw crown that will set off the horde.
And indeed it will. So we'll see them take this last horde. There should be one final hit up here, probably right ahead of this bush or the hedge up ahead where the staircase is. And then that will probably be the safing for them, assuming it doesn't end into some disaster and they end up getting tri-cap and boomer, hitman. But boomer rocking a nice double proxy out onto Ellis, and coach to start this off. The other 3 SI will be a jockey, smoker, and a charger. So nice 3-1. And with boomer already gone in, it looks like the rest of the attack is going to make his way. Charger does manage to land. Jockey does not actually get the intercept, but it does also land onto Rochelle. And smoker over pull here onto Nick. Tongue is continually getting broken on the bus though. But the smoker not in the hands of Soul, not giving up just yet, walking his way in. Looks for another pull on Ellis, does land that one. But that will be all she wrote, I do believe. I don't think there's going to be any way for an SI to get in here. Hunter making his way in towards the safe room, not going to find it though, closing the door in his face. And that will be the safe room with a 268 health bonus. So we'll see Team Pubstar taking, what is that, around 90 point lead here in the first map?
Yeah, around 90 points, I'd say. But, I mean, again, I'd say that's a little bit low for a home server, but because of the ping situation, the being the way it is, I mean, it's pretty much anybody's game at this point on either server, so we'll see exactly what they're able to do in terms of extending that lead in the next couple chapters.
Yeah, I mean, as it stands right now, if this is actually going to be a best of 2, they're pretty much going to have 2 home games because of the pings, because they're just so close, and the highest ping is going to be like a 115. So it's basically 2 home games.
Yeah, so this is just like I don't know, but I mean, Josie for some reason I think the internet's acting up just a little bit right now, and besides that, it really also does depend on the tank spawn. But it doesn't. It actually doesn't, because it's just going to be like I feel like any conversation of having a home and away here is absolutely just void because of the pings being this close. So let's just call it a different game. So in this game, like 47% is not that much of an issue. I think both teams potentially could kill that, and that's going to be. Is that going to be like the crater with the construction equipment in it, or the pool room? Is that a little bit later?
47. That might be in the building after the cross. No, that's somewhere downstairs, I think.
Yeah,
it's somewhere in the construction area. It's at yeah, like the beginning of the construction area, I think.
Okay, that makes sense, I guess, and that can go either way, honestly, depending on where the survivors stand. There is like a dumpster back there that does a pretty good job of mitigating the tank getting to them. But we are live. We have Pubstars on the survivor and the Charger, Boomer, Smoker, and a let's see. I didn't put my spec out up, but it's okay. We do have the Hickam. It's a Jockey. Smoker trying to get a pull. Charger going in. Get beautifully leveled by Soul. Jockey lands. Quick clear going out. Smoker gets a pull in the front. And this is the kind of level of survivor play that we've seen from Pubstars pretty consistently, I'd say, Kiss Me.
Yeah, I mean, going back to last week, we saw them play off against Team Healthcare Professionals. That was just an absolutely amazing match between these two teams. Once again, HCP, I am actually going to ruin it. HCP did manage to claw it back in the second game, but originally they were getting pretty well stomped out on Swamp Fever against these guys. They actually ended up making the boat with 1,000 health bonus, which was absolutely insane.
Right, and I mean, the survivor play has been spectacular. Nice shutdown onto that Boomer right there as well. Smoker is going to land a pull for a quick second there. Does get cleared. Hunter lands for a little bit of separation. Is going to be cleared after a couple seconds. That's probably the most that I've seen for a pinner landing so far onto the Pubstars, and I think they might be able to maybe not push past the next choke, but at least get close to it where the Penguins won't exactly have the right spawns up to quite counter that. The Smoker might be able to, and they're working their way across, but the Smoker's struggling for a spawn right now. They're actually not going to be able to capitalize on that choke, as I thought.
Yeah, the spawn timers are just ending as they made their way over the gap there. But yeah, Rochelle's going to go ahead and eat that boom as they drop out the window. Coach now going for a bit of a cheeky play there, but Smoker grabs him. Charger not able to actually intercept there for some reason. And then also the Jockey getting shut down just as hard. So Team Pubstar shutting down these SI fairly well. Soul taking a bit of damage there. But other than that, they got to be happy with where they stand. And the tank should be up here relatively soon. It's somewhere like downstairs in these first two construction rooms, I believe.
Should be like, yeah, okay, right now. And the tank for Penguins is going to be up into the hands of Lion. Let's see where the survivors decide to fight it. Obviously, they really have a couple options. They could have decided to do it inside, but they don't have to. Outside might be a little bit better. We've seen that in a couple of the matches earlier. And now this Boomer's going to go and manage to land a single boom on to Allison. I don't know if the tank's going to decide to commit with that or not. Probably going to wait for a 3-cap and go with the end of that horde.
Indeed, I think that would be the much safer play, is just wait until that third SI gets a little bit closer. He could even start committing right now with 8 seconds left on it. By the time he gets in, it'll be up. But he looks like he's going to wait a little bit longer. There's still a little bit of horde here that he could have worked with, but else making quick work of that. So the 3 spawns will be a Jockey, Smoker, and a Hunter. Pretty good 3-cap. I mean, once again, I'm not a big fan of having a Charger for a tank commit, but there's actually a beautiful pull on Rochelle. Lots of separation up front. Tank's going to move in to actually intercept that. That's going to be a free end cap onto Rochelle, but the other survivors are now moving into the pool room to actually help out here, and all the SI are dead. So this tank is now stranded all alone here, and he might be up Shit's Creek without a paddle. Yeah, he's going to be pushed right out.
A little bit, but I actually like the decision to commit in there like that, because he got the single down, and then he also got a couple of punches onto the Soul. Let's see if the survivors decide to push him even harder. I think they're going to try to. The tank doesn't have a whole lot of health left in order to actually do another full commit. Interesting decision, too, for the survivors, I think, to just walk in there and just shoot the tank alive, which I think they should have done. And I think the tank's going to recommit now. They're going to ask for help pretty fast, trying to get a punch onto Peter. Tank is dead. We do have the Charger going out onto a smoke target in the back. Nice intercept as well going down, so a good amount of damage from that. I'm not sure what it would have been if they had fought that outside. Might have been a little bit less, but notwithstanding, the Pubstars are doing a pretty good job of shutting most of that stuff down. That would have been a worse situation had another like multi-cap landed, but during that tank fight, they killed the Hunter and the Jockey after that separation smoke went out.
Yeah, that was actually really well played, and that was also a good heads-up play there by Penguins, whoever that Smoker was as well. Grabbing that pull on Rochelle, he saw that she had no real way of going back out that door safely, and he just pulled her right through, got that easy set up for the tank, and the tank took that in cap, as you mentioned. So well played by them, but also obviously Team Pubstar making the way past that attack coming in now. Boomer landing onto Rochelle down the staircase, everything funneling from behind, and Ellis man-moding it up, killing everything by himself in the back. All 3 SI up and down, Smoker, Jockey, Spitter, and then Boomer obviously being killed off in the front after landing that boom on Rochelle. So well played from Ellis. He is also one of the main health bonuses left for Team Pubstar. So good on him to actually keep it alive.
I mean, this is a situation with Pubstars where I've seen their roster evolve over the course of tournaments. We had that Boomer going in the back, Jockey going as well, and Peter Griefin's been a mainstay. What a level by Spongy as well. Another beautiful shutdown going out right there. Peter Griefin's been a mainstay. I think,
Spongy
I want to say Spongy has played with them a little bit before. Yeah, so it's been those two, but then bringing in players like Soul and Josie, like that's something else that changes the dynamic of the team. And we've seen them play so well together in such a short time.
Yeah, I mean, Pubstar has been around for a very long time, the brand as is. But the actual players have, you know, come and gone, to say the least. But anyway, let's attack coming in here. Hunter getting blown out of there. Boomer landing a double boom. And that's really the most that comes out of that hit. Everything else getting obliterated. No pills left to their names, though. So they do have to start playing a little bit closer and move a little bit quicker as well. Peter Griffin is going to be slow, though, for the rest of the game. But there goes the draw crown on the Witch. Rochelle easily grabbing it. And that will be the last huge hurdle in their way. They do have a couple of choke points up ahead, though. So it's going to come down to how well they can take them. But, yeah, as you were mentioning, Spongy and Peter Griffin, over the past 2 years that I've been casting actively, just watching them both grow together has been really amazing. And now to see them playing on a team where, you know, they literally have a shot of winning this tournament. They played absolutely out of their minds versus HCP last weekend. So I think that they have a very, very good shot of actually taking this tournament by surprise. And, you know, they've been here for a while. They've paid their dues. And if they were to win, I wouldn't have anything against it.
Would not be surprised.
Yeah, I would have nothing against it.
Yeah, and they are going to elect to take this in an area that we saw in the matching game earlier. This is interesting because this area looks pretty bad to deal with, and it could be, depending on these spawns. We have the Smoker going out, getting pulled to Smudgy. Nice intercept on that charge as well. That spit might not quite
I think it missed.
So, yeah, that's not the most damage you can see, but I think by choosing to hold that one hit out there, they might be able to push through the rest of the common before it's done. We saw in the game where it was matching versus Team France earlier that the survivors were able to stand up there for most of the time without a whole lot of incident. And because there's no water slowdown, they should be able to push to the end here right as that horde's coming in. Nice timing from Pubstars to get out of that the way they did.
Yeah, they knew the moment that hit went in, if they just move quick with that lack of water slowdown, as you mentioned, they can make it through that tunnel without any hit really being up. Here goes the Charger, though, trying to bait them out here. Boomer getting immediately blown up in the back. They have 2 sets of pills that they just found here at the end of the hole as well. But there is still this, obviously, huge task ahead of them, that Charger and Jockey. Jockey messing around with Kosher. Charger goes in, hits that charge. Spit goes down top of the staircase. But did he kill both? Did he kill the Jockey with the melee swing?
I don't know, but that Jockey was dead. That was a great job by Soul there to push into the front and then just make the SI have the pressure on them instead of putting the pressure on the survivors. That's going to be safe room for Team Pubstars. Their Hunter going in for some scratches, getting shot by Peter Griffin after he gets one. That's going to bring Pubstars' total score to 2,236. Great job by them. 584-point bonus for this map. That's really, really nice. And now the pressure is going to be a little bit on the Penguins on their survivor side to see if they can match that, but definitely possible depending on where that tank spawns. I'm just consistently impressed by Pubstars' survivor.
Yeah, they have some just incredible survivor play, very, very strong and solid players. And once again, we've seen them developed over the past 2 years, especially once again Spongy and Peter Griffin. Very, very long-time players recently, and they put in a lot of hours. So we'll see the round going live now. Spongy isn't even ready, but we'll see if they end up pausing. You know, they don't pause. They just tell them to stop talking to people. We're ready. So we're going to be going live here with the second map, second chapter, or second half as well. So Pubstar over on your SI, Team Penguins on your survivor. And let's see how Pubstars play out this first hit. It's going to be that Jockey, Charger, Smoker, Boomer, same as we saw in the last half beginning hit attack. Everything works his way in. Boomer goes in, lands a nice double boom onto 2 survivors. Proxy as well. Charger takes 1 survivor up the staircase, up against the wall, and then Smoker grabs a quick pull there out onto Ellis. So I would say about 2 times the damage that we saw go out onto Pubstars on the first hit on the other half.
Yeah, pretty good amount of damage there. Everything mostly landing, obviously not quite as in sync as they would want it to be for like a 2 or a 3 cap, but still got a pretty good amount of damage. And also, since this is a European / partially Asian continent game that we have here, anyone interested, there was a little bit of news in terms of that side of the quote-unquote bracket earlier where Team France has dropped out of the Bleed Out tournament. We have that Hunter getting blown out of the sky after that Boomer got shut down. Jockey and Charger, only 2 things left. I think they might have sacked that first, but that news surprises a little bit, Kiss Me, because usually the teams that you think about in terms of the EU powerhouses, France was definitely up there.
Yeah, I really wasn't expecting Team France to drop out, but they came right up to us and they said actually
Oh, Rochelle
and Ellis just both dropped off together for some reason. Jockey latching on to Coach up top. That's a huge separation play there by the Jockey, noticing it and going right for it. Charger working his way back downstairs towards Ellis and the rest of the survivors. Charger, we're looking for a cap, not going to find it though, so Charger's going to be killed off. But Coach being drug off, that's an in cap. Wonderfully played by that Jockey.
Yeah, that was a beautiful play. That Charger went for the intercept as well. Smoker might be able to troll a little bit more, but that full in cap is definitely going to help Team Pubstars' case on the special infected. And Penguins got a little bit too separated right there. I think the main problem with that was that they weren't able to clear the Jockey fast before he decided to go out, but if that Charger landed too, it would have been even worse. We have a Smoker already spawned up down here trying to get something. Hunter's going in, getting scratches onto Coach, and it looks as though they're going to decide to go across the bank up top instead. Coach trying to juke the Smoker out. Finally going to get pulled right there. Spit's going to go down on top of that as well. He's going to jump his way out onto the railing to not take any more of that damage, but Pubstar is just getting the chip damage that they possibly can.
Yeah, the Smoker's going to get killed off by the Deagle of Coach. Coach makes the jump finally across. If he got pulled down again, I was going to be like, oh my god. Stuff's about to happen. But yeah, not to throw any spoilers out there, but after that loss, Team France came to the Evans, and they said, we don't really play anymore. We're kind of like iffy in the past couple of weeks, so we're just going to throw our hats out of the ring and let the other teams fight for the spots in top 16, which is honest. If you're not playing a lot and you feel like you're just getting overwhelmed by these teams, you can always just step out. It's not anything to be ashamed of. So it is it's always sad to see Team France go though, because once again that's a big name in the tournament, especially in the European scene. So it's sad to see them go, but at the same time, if they notice that we're just getting overwhelmed by these guys and we don't have time to put into team practice, there's nothing that can be really done about it.
Exactly, and we have Dozy right now with his tank for Team Pubstar. It's going to be a Charger, Hunter, and a Jockey for the support. I think he might elect just to commit him with this instead of trying to take chip. He's going to try to throw a couple curve rocks around the corner here. I expect him maybe to go, like, I don't know, split the survivors in some way, because the SI spawns are positioned generally above them from that building. So he's going to push in and probably try to push him to the right-hand side. Rochelle on top of the head is doing a pretty good amount of work. Josie obviously committing his tank right here, getting in the middle of them, throwing a rock, managing to catch Rochelle right there. Is going to miss the follow-up punch, though. Probably going to be calling for his support. Beautiful skeet going out onto that Hunter. Jockey landing on Nick in midair. The tank has secured a corner, however, onto Rochelle as his support goes down. Turning back around, throwing another rock, and for an open field like that, that's expectant, I would say, from the damage, and I'd say across both teams right there, I would say maybe just because of that in-cap that they took beforehand, Penguins is in a bit of a worse position.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the health bonus as it stands, they're standing at an 888 health bonus to the 584 that we saw Team Pubstar make their save from with. So there's around a 300-point gap right now, health bonus-wise. And, that there's a lot of big chokes left. So that's really nothing to, feel safe and secured about. And I think Penguins know that, so they're going to keep making quick headway through the maps here. And, obviously looking to try and bring it over to their server here after the game has concluded. The first game with 2, obviously. Attacker coming in, though. Smoker in the front, working his way in. Jockey, Hunter working his way through the back. Not going to find anything until that Hunter does find Coach. Lays him down on his back and starts clawing away at him. But that will be quickly remedied and killed off. So we'll see Survivors continue the way to the staircase.
I think that spitter going down right there is going to create a little bit of a lull in the special infected spawns. I would say that maybe they're going to have a 3 cap now by the time the survivors get to the bottom, but I think survivors know because they just sacked that spawn, they're going to drop down before the full hit is up. That's exactly what they're going to do. So they're going to clear this choke pretty efficiently, and now without that spitter, they're not going to be able to maximize the damage on the SI side. I don't know about that late sack.
Yeah, that was a little iffy. I as you mentioned, I probably would have just saved it. This Jockey's going to get pushed down heavily, though, dropping down to 55 HP before even going to the commit. So, that Jockey's pretty much dead weight right now. There's not much he's going to be able to do.
I mean, if they get lucky right here, they could land some kind of multi-boom and then try to do something, but I think the survivors know that they got the infected in a pretty good place. They're bleeding out just a little bit. They still have 2 sets of pills to keep the other 2 players who are slow, or bleeding out rather, to keep them fast. I mean, the baiting game here is okay, but then Pubstars need to decide what they want to do in terms of the next hit after this, because if the Penguins can just push through the event and then hold out in the same place, they're not going to get a whole lot. However, that Charger is going to land onto a separated survivor in front with a pull, trying to go out in the back, so a little bit of damage, but again, no spit to maximize that. Jockey's going to go despawn along with that Smoker. So interesting trade-off right there. Again, not another full hit coming in from Team Pubstars, and that might not give them what they want.
Yeah, that's going to leave a lot of hope up to these next couple of hits here. Because there's probably only 3, possibly 4, depending on if there's any incaps that take place. Last set of pills has now been popped, though, for Penguins, and they still have this wish to deal with as well. But it should be an easy take for them today, at least. But we'll see the attack coming in there. Smoker's on getting broken. Nice double boom landing onto both Nick and Alice. Charger whiffs on the Ghost Shout, and that's guaranteed a dead Witch. And we might even see just Sick going for it. I didn't even see a need for the drop count, but it looks like she's going to aggro. Alice going for it, does land it. So that's the Witch up and dead.
Exactly, and at this point, that charge is going to despawn. I think the Penguins can wait now and hold out that event in this area that we were talking about before. It's on that long stretch of, I guess, ramp up there surrounded by those rails. Going to be a Smoker, a Jockey, a Spitter, and a Charger for the next. The Charger is probably going to go back and... Did he get a despawn? He might have. And this is going to be an interesting area to hit, because if that Charger can actually come in and land, it'll be really, really good. But that means that Coach and Rochelle are going to have to be hassled by the other SI that are coming in. It's a tough situation, too, because now that the Penguins are bleeding out and don't have any pills, they might be at a worse spot than they think. That Spit's going to go down on top. Jockey spawning down below. Smoker trying to look for something as well. Another kind of discoordinated hit coming out from Team Pubstars. Hot position to be in, I'd say, from the special infected side of things.
Yeah, this isn't really favorable for them, and so we'll see a score difference of around 250 points for the health bonus. Once again, obviously in favors of Team Penguins with the 730 to the 584. And yeah, there's not really much that they can do right now. Another boom going out, 1, 2, 3, boomed. And if there was any time to throw the hit in, it would be right now, probably. But once again, they can't really get any good spawns with these SI that they have. I mean, Jockey can make his way up if he just jumps over the edge. Smoker can pull over the railing, but that Charger, he's kind of, you know, he has nowhere to really come in from. He can't exactly jump as high as a Jockey or Hunter or throw his attack out like a Smoker can.
I have a feeling they're just going to wait now because they're going to get that Spitter. The Common are mostly dead at this point, and maybe the darkness of the tunnel can help the SI out a little bit, despite the fact that all the Horde is dead. I think everybody for Penguins actually is going to be able to probably get through the tunnel, aside from Rochelle, before even this hit goes in. But I think they're just going to be choked out by the front, because this is a pretty good hit to happen here, but they've held it for so long, and they're actually not electing to go yet. They're waiting for the Penguins to push out instead. I don't know. This has been an interesting mental game here, but it's only going to give Team Pubstars one more hit before the Penguins reach the safe room. I don't know about that, Kiss Me.
Yeah, I probably would have liked to have thrown a hit there somewhere on the overhead where they were holding out the event. But regardless, they chose better because they do have a really nice hit here, in fact. But Smoker go for a pull here. The Tongue will get killed off, and well, broken, and he will get killed off. Jockey working his way from behind. Charger does manage to land there, out onto Nick, bring him down the staircase, and he is solid health bonus. Spit, I'm not too sure where it landed. I don't believe it did actually land all the way down. Okay. So yeah, Nick actually takes a lot of damage going down to the yellow. And that will probably drop down to 6. Yeah, 614, so it's virtually even going into map 3 here. It's going to be a health bonus of 584 to probably like a 611 or a 610 by the time they make it in. Oh, nice scratch, actually.
Yeah, that was interesting. I mean, it's almost... Actually, because of that last scratch and the friendly fire,
they won the round.
Did win their... Wait.
Yeah, they won the round.
Yeah, they did. Okay. That's pretty good. I mean, again, like... The fact that it's this close is indicative of the fact that there really isn't a need for a second game, but we're probably going to see one. Like, it's literally a 100-point game at this point, and I don't think the Penguins have been impacted that much by the small disparity in ping. And I have a feeling as well that this might be how we see it go on the other server too. So who knows exactly how that's going to turn out. But, like, throw everything that you know about there being a home and away system out for this.
Yeah, basically we're going to see 2 home games. There is no away for these guys. Literally, it's a Eastern Russian, no, it's an Eastern EU, is it? No, Western EU versus Western Russian, and their servers are pretty much like, the difference in their pings is literally just they're swapping. So, personally, I don't see the whole home away thing happening here. It's kind of like, you know, they all have 100 ping, you know, in one of the games, and then on the other game they have like 20 ping. So, you know, that's not bad ping at all to play with 100. But we shall see what ends up happening here. What is everyone in chat changing their name to Blue? I just looked over and now Lucky Luck has a blue name. Blue is best. What can I say?
Indeed it is. And I don't think Soul's ready, but we're going live anyway. Pubstars on the Survivor side, and then Team Penguins on the Special Infected. Jockey, Charger, Smoker, smoker, and a spitter for this first hit from the Penguins. That's a pretty good first hit to come in with, and obviously this is going to be the same tank that we always see here inside that train car. But let's see how Pubstars decide to play on Survivor. Nice insta-clear on that tongue going out onto the smoker. The rest of the hit has not yet elected to go in. As a matter of fact, I think they're going to reposition for a second choke around here instead of that initial corner.
Indeed, and they're going to actually go ahead and look to throw this hit in yet again, probably at the staircase. Or I don't see them going for a death charge. If they go for a death charge, I would applaud them just for the attempt. But we haven't seen a death charge actually work. I believe they've been attempted here, but they haven't worked at all. And judging by the smoker's position as well, they're not going for the actual death charge. It looks like it's just going to be a dog pile on someone with that spit down.
I believe so, and they might be able to get some kind of 3-cap too, depending, but that smoker's actually getting picked by the survivor. He's standing on the car with that Uzi, doing almost half of his health, and that's going to be a fire barrel exploding in the front, so the survivors are going to have to wait for another second here. They have about 48 seconds until the natural horde timer decides to send a few common their way as well, as if to give them a boom, so I think they can start inching their way forward again, blowing up the other fire barrel, just because, you know, and this is a different style of high-level play than some might be used to seeing, where it's in terms of just like debating it out and then trying their best and the precision to get the SI to make any kind of small mistake at all possible. It's a very, very precise way to do it. But then, unfortunately for them, they are going to get 2 caps off that. The Charger did not land, however, and so that's a pretty good amount of damage. I don't know if that was worth the exchange of waiting for that long.
Yeah, I mean, Soul took a lot of that damage, but that wasn't because of really the SI hitting him really hard or anything. It was more of him running through that spit at the very end, and he kind of also ran through the death spit, so that's where that majority of damage came from. Josie, though, on the other hand, he did eat quite a bit of damage there, unfortunately, from the SI, but that was, once again, only about 20 damage. Soul's damage should have been mitigated, but it was just, you know, a little bit of a mishap on his part to run through that. And, yeah, so we'll see another attack coming here. The Charger working his way through the doorway, not going to find anything, though. Just ramming into the boat, being killed off after the stumble has completed. Jockey as well, being killed off. Spitter just holding on for it right now. And, yeah, they've actually done a pretty good job with these SI hits yet again. Except for that one mishap by Soul, they've really quickly shut down these SI hits and mitigated damage.
That was a really, really nice play by Team Pubstars, I would say, to push as fast as they did. They pretty much have only had the SI get 2 hits, and they're already about to drop into the tank fight. Like, that's a really, really good job by them after baiting and then just completely change pace, whip forward through the map, and take as little damage as possible just by the fact they were able to close so much distance between them and the safe room just because of that first hit's position. Boomer goes and gets a single boom right there, and the tank is going to be up right now. 14 Penguins into the hands of Feel. Let's see if they elect to send the hit when he transitions out. I believe that's probably what it's going to be. It's a Spitter, Charger, and a Smoker coming in. Pull charge spit going out onto Rochelle, and the tank has managed to get up. Oh, that rock was nicely executed by Soul right there. I thought that was going to be a rock for sure. Smoker finally does get cleared. A lot of damage without going out with the Spongy.
That would have been horrible if that rock landed. That could have easily, oh, it would have been an end cap, but it would put her down into the low reds for sure. Because she would have been obviously in another gap animation inside the spit that was already down top of her, plus the death spit. But regardless, we'll see it once again. Hank up in the hands of Feel for Penguins, and he's going to go ahead and rotate himself over to the opposite building and look to keep some allies here on the survivors. Now, it really comes down to how do they want to play this. Boomer goes in, lands a single boom out on the coach. Jockey, Charger for the next 2 SI. Ooh. Nice rock there out onto Nick, actually. And that's going to cause a little bit of a disruption in their lines. Another rock coming down there. Look for Nick. Not going to find it, though. Spongy skeets it. But they still have this Charger and Jockey. And now it really comes down to what the Stars want to do here. Because they can either play hard LOS game or get some actually really good chip from this distance. If they were all just start shooting at him, Uzi bullets aren't really that hard on drop-off at this area. They do a decent amount of damage still, especially pistols. Shotguns, on the other hand, you know, how many pellets you land. They have, you know, they're not the best for this area. But you can still get some good chip once again from this area with the SMG and pistol combo.
Right, I mean, this is an area, too, where we've seen it go so back and forth. Survivors sometimes seem to eat rocks that they wouldn't usually eat in another rock tank spot, making its non-familiarity with it. We do have that Jockey managing to land a rock, as you see. A Charger lands as well on the long charge. As that Jockey has gone on to Josie in the corner, we do see that last rock getting skeeted, and we have a pause actually coming out from the Penguins.
Indeed we do. So now they're kind of putting themselves into a bit of a really not so good position. Spongy and Josie, well, Josie's already slow, but Spongy and Soul are on the brink of going slow. I believe their Soul's around 50, high 40 HP, and then Spongy's in the low 40s right now. So they're both on the brink of actually going slow here. If I were Team Pubstar, I would either start shooting the tank a lot more, or I would start thinking about maybe opening that second door, triggering the horde, and then, you know, going back out into the open, which will probably cause the commit to happen, but at least you won't sit there and be bleeding out with all these pills, and, you know, 2 more survivors on the brink of needing them already.
I think you're going to do exactly what you mentioned, already starting to push that first door, like actually rather that second door open so they can push through the first train. But I think they're actually going to now go and maybe try to do some more LOSing, because I mean, LOSing behind the crates I think is a good call, plus that large boat which isn't hittable. As long as they don't get boomed, they should be in an okay position. But that Boomer and Hunter are both looking to go in from the tree back there with the smoker spawning in the front. Nice ski going up by Josie onto that Hunter. Boomer lands a single boom, and now they should either LOS inside to push forward. Going for chip here doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to actually go ahead and wrap around the crates or the shipment crates or containers, whatever you would like to say, and just kind of LOS him. Now he's going to go ahead and rotate back on top of the other building yet again. He is losing his rage, but it's really not at any accelerated rate. Still down to 60% rage, so he's still in good standing as is. And they have to be more, I don't even know, they have to be more demanding with this. They have to either, once again, go for the more chip or just LOS more. They're in like that half-half position that Fig talked about, where you have, you know, 2 people LOSing and 2 people shooting, except, you know, the 2 people LOSing are LOSing, but the 2 people that are supposed to be shooting are just staring at the tank instead. That makes no sense, you're not even getting chip. But attack coming in here, Hunter landing out onto Alice, no rock landed. And that's going to keep his frustration at 6%. It looks like they're going to go forward here. And they better pop those 2 sets of pills on them, or else they're going to risk going slow here.
This is going to be really dangerous. The tank's actually dropped back, deciding to go for one of his
that car.
cars. Yeah, that car was really close, and the survivors need to decide to push forward right now. That's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to start trying to kill this horde in front. They obviously cannot run into a situation where they're already going to be common, but there are common here. Tank is pushing his way in from the back. If one of these common hits for a shell, he's going to get caught. That's exactly what happens. Tank going in, managing to get 2 hits, and then it actually shoots the fire barrels on the tank. The tank is lit, I'm pretty sure. I'm not exactly sure if that's supposed to be a thing that happens or not, but that tank is getting burnt to death by those fire barrels. I don't believe that was supposed to happen. Oh dear sweet Jesus Christ. I don't know if that was an ace mod thing or a pro mod thing infringing on ace mod, but I thought those barrels were supposed to blow up and do damage instead of actually lighting the tank on fire.
I don't know if he was actually lit on fire or if it was just the animation. I think it might have been.
I think it set on fire in the spec HUD.
Reloading.
Visor, can you confirm or deny that those barrels will light a tank on fire? I don't think they will, because all fires. I don't even know what the rules are for fire in this, because there's no Molotov. So maybe there's nothing against fire. Like there's nothing to put fire out. I don't know.
I thought it was just supposed to do damage instead of actually lighting. We do have a full charge going out into the back with a spit on top of that as well with a tri-boom. That's a lot of damage going out onto Soul. And Pubstars I think are a little bit frazzled right now because of that tank fight. Like that tank fight, I just think if they had LS around the large crates or around the bottom of the boat or something, they would have been in a much better position to take that tank with a lot less difficulty than the one that they did. Double get-up animation there on Soul as well, so that's going to put them in a pretty bad spot in terms of health.
Yeah, they're actually really starting to eat these SI hits. Penguins are starting to dial in a little bit more, and I mean we expect this to be a beat out game, and coach is actually going for a little bit of an interesting path there up to the side there. I haven't seen any team actually make use of that, which I really hope. Oh, he's actually going to do it. Yes, I haven't seen anyone actually use this yet, but there's a whole path here. Oops, oh god, but it's basically a conveyor belt that goes above the entire way, and then you drop down through the vents. Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. When I first learned that, I played the campaign like 20 times over just so I could do that area over and over. I don't know why, but I thought it was entertaining.
It was, I agree, it's completely entertaining, but I think Soul realized that entertainment's only half the battle. He had to get back with his team, and there is a witch up right now. She is to the left, Boomer arcing over, managing to land a single boom onto Josie, and the witch is actually off on Josie as well, I'm pretty sure. Hunter landing into the front, which is going to be forced to climb, and actually decides to do a ladder punch up onto Josie there. That's going to be 2 in-caps, almost a tri-cap there. If that jockey is riding Ellis, that would be a freaking horrible wipe if that actually happened. But again, that witch pretty much just did like a freaking slide punch up the side of those bricks to hit Josie. I don't know if Josie knew he triggered it either.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate for him. And then actually, I wonder if they're going to go back for Ellis. It looks like Nick wants to, but Coach and Rochelle a little bit hesitant. They're not sure if they really want to, but no, they look like they are actually going to go for it. And there's also another fire barrel. Oh god, please no more fire barrels. Hunter Charger working the way in. Charger whiffs, but the hunt does land. That's probably going to be an end cap on Nick. Indeed it will be. Charger running backwards now. Spitter's going to end up dying on top of Nick. And Jockey working his way. Oh no, he was ghosted. Never mind.
I mean, at this point, they should probably just go back and get them, I would say. And that's exactly what they're going to be doing, because one person's going to be white, and actually both of them are going to be black and white. This is difficult to deal with now for Pubstars because they just, like, that entire sequence since that tank fight started has been absolutely detrimental to them. And right now, like, I don't know if it's me lagging or if that is me lagging.
I think that's you. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. But anyway, I don't know. Like, they should be able to make like most of the distance here if they don't get reset again. But these hits from Penguins have been exactly what they've needed.
Yeah, Penguins has just been landing these hits to a T pretty much. And there's another great example, another double boom coming off from the ledge onto two survivors. Smoker, Charger set up front, waiting for it. Smoker grabs a pull onto Alice. Charger goes in, lands a double charge. Jockey bringing Coach back down off the ledge. That's going to be a double end cap with the smoke landing onto Nick up front there. And that's going to be an end cap on him. Actually, Soul dies off along with Josie now. I initially said Josie because I knew it was coming. But yeah, that's going to be a wipe. Now it's just Peter Griffin in the hands of Alice. And yeah. Hunter going in for him, looking for the pounce, does find it, and that will secure the wipe. Another kill, and there we go. So Team Pubstars not making the save from there, only gaining 650 points off of that round, and that will rocket them up to a 28-51 for this third map. And now Penguins, they can easily take the lead here.
And we've mentioned it like in almost every game that we've casted so far, and in a lot of the scrims as well. The point disparity really gets made, I would say, on this map and the next map. Like, this is a situation here where you could score in excess of like 1,000 points. You make the save from correctly, but that tank is an area where we've seen a lot of teams that you wouldn't usually consider to be susceptible to damage on rock tanks or just stupid end caps or something dumb like that. Like, for instance, I don't know if it was just a lack of not knowing exactly where to LOS, but the Pubstars looked completely different when fighting that tank than they did, say, you know, even in the match last week or in the maps before that. Like, they were not in a good spot. Even though the tank got hit with the fire barrel or whatever, it still did a ton of damage, and they couldn't get past that choke point. So, honestly, this is a great opportunity for Penguins in the first game here to take a lot of points in front of their favor. And that's going to be a Charter going down after the Spitter landed with a Smoker getting a pull to the side. I mean, that's pretty good damage, and that should also give Pubstars a hit before the survivors push halfway through the map.
Indeed. So we'll see Penguins, yeah, once again, just beelining their way past that death charge position. Both the fire barrels that we saw Team Pubstar get held up on for a little bit. And so they're going to go ahead and make quick work of the major areas here and making their way up actually towards the boat storage area. And yeah, next attack looks to make its way in. Single boom, double boom actually at the very tail end of that, landing out onto Rochelle. So two stars, boom, Jockey, Charger working their way in here, looking to make something happen here. Charger actually gets mowed down before he can actually land. Jockey latching on the coach outside though. Unfortunately, the common is not going for him, so he won't take all that much damage that he could have. But still, Lion and Sick taking a brunt of that damage. Probably around 50 damage, I would say. And yeah, that would have been a lot worse for Lion if that was actually Jockey landing onto him while he was boomed. Because then they were coming all around him, and that would have doubled the damage, if not tripled, and probably encapped.
Exactly, and this is a situation now where the survivors, they've taken some chip damage and that kind of stuff. There hasn't really been like a big hit going out onto them yet. That Hunter is going to get instantly cleared. Charter coming in, trying to land. There is the Charter's actually going to miss because the Jockey took the survivor to the left. That's a good amount of damage with those punches and that spit. That did a lot of damage.
Two survivors dropping to the yellow. Wow.
Yeah. OMG, it matches the ping. Alright, so now we're going to see the Penguins pushing forward, getting the tank up, and it's going to come up into the hands of Peter Griffin right here. And if Peter can secure a wipe right here, that'll put his team in very good position. But right now he's being chipped by the Uzis in the front. Charger's going to spawn up in the back, getting it mowed down as it goes in. Tank's going to take a pretty good amount of chip here. Having a little bit difficult with that ladder, going to take over 1,000 chip, over 1,100 chip as a matter of fact. And kiss me, that was a little bit messier, I think, than they wanted.
Yeah, I mean, that was a very heads-up play there by Field, though. He was obviously Zoe or Rochelle on the screen, and he did a lot of work there on the tank early on the Peter Griffin damage-wise. He got a good probably 500-600 chip by himself before the rotation happened, and he basically just pushed himself up against the train and just started railing into that corner, and it worked out for him. He got a lot of chip, and now we see Peter Griffin once again under that 5K mark, down to 4,800 HP. And another attack looking to come in here. Sora's making the way out to the open yet again. Jockey, Hunter, and Charger working the way in, everyone together, and it looks like only that Hunter's going to land. Indeed it will. Everything else getting shut down. Actually, now the Jockey latches back onto Alice. Rock does miss, but Charger grabs a couple punches onto him as well, and that's going to just destroy another one of the health bonuses that much more. And, yeah, you just look at the health of Penguins. They're not looking in that great a shape either now. And now Nick's actually going to open up the second door.
Yeah, they have two survivors bleeding right here, and the Penguins, like, those two hits of pills can be committed if they want to push forward, but again, this area is not bad if they actually LOS the tank, but Peter Griffin's doing a pretty good job of keeping his sight on them, keeping that rage pretty high. Smoker Hunter and a Boomer for the next hit coming out from the Pubstars. Boomer's going to get nicely popped by Stick right there. You see a Smoker pull going out, Rock going in, not going to land. Hunter does land on top of the boat to make it a quick 2-cap. And again, a little bit more chip damage going out, and they're bleeding out, but now I think this is the LOS that we want to see.
Yeah, this is going to cause Peter Griffin to be forced to rotate now, and the survivors know that. They're going to start backing up here. He does actually start working one of his cars, and that's in a pretty good spot as well. That is right by the ammo, in fact. So if they were to want ammo and the SI were up, they could actually make something happen on top of that. But he's down to 4,500, pretty much 4,600 HP, though. And he's going to start playing some Rock Tank again. Still on first pass, so he's in a fairly good position. But I would be afraid that the survivors might actually push forward here, because of their posture that they just set up with. I'm looking at them possibly going forward here. Boomer waddling his way in, though, lands a single boom out onto Nick. The rest of the attack is shut down, though. And I wouldn't be surprised if they move forward. Oh, that was a Rock? I didn't even see it land.
He got a Rock onto Rochelle, so that's pretty good. Now, they're actually not going to go far. They're going to try to LS behind here once again. Because of that Rock, Peter Griffin is going to be pretty close to the top of his frustration for first pass. And now they're already going to start rotating forward here. I think they're trying to bait him so they can push, but the tank figured that out and is going to come back to his roof, still with probably half of his first pass intact. Over that, as a matter of fact. Boomer, Smoker, Jockey going in. Boomer does get popped. We're going to see the tank throwing another rocket right here. And as you mentioned, because it's over top the ammo, they really can't get a whole lot of support there in terms of their guns if they actually run out. That Rock almost landed on a coach.
They might move.
Jockey going in. They are going to have to move, I think. But they're actually going back to the room.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what they're doing. I mean, they should be taking one of these chances to actually move forward. Nice Rock that clipped just the edge of the container. And, you know, if Survivor was actually still moving, would probably hit him. But nice play by him, or needs a nice Rock. And yeah, he's just starting to take a little bit of chip here, down to 4,000 HP, but it doesn't matter. For the amount of damage he's done already, he's warranted his tank. It's just, you know, anything past this is just really a bonus for him. And he's obviously not having any thoughts of full commitment here. He's just going for these rocks and this long tank, bleeding them out. And now another attack thrown in, and I'm so surprised they're not moving forward.
They're not. I guess they figured they might have done enough damage to him to where they can probably swim in this area, but again, they can't get ammo, they can't stay back there forever, and they also, if they were to push forward, they run into a horde of common, but the call forward is the right move to make here, because they're sitting in this area where there are spawns still all around them, tank still is on second pass. I have a feeling like he could probably commit this at this point, because if they LS him a little bit more, that would be worse, but again, they're bleeding out on the survivor side of things. So this tank is going to have to make a decision too. He's trying to sit there and stare at them, because he can afford to.
Yeah, he's not in a bad position at all. And, yeah, they're about to have two survivors that are bleeding or two survivors that are going to be slow just from the bleed. And then you still have Feel and Flavex, who are literally on the brink of being slow themselves. They're both in the high 40s. Like, they're literally all about to be slow just from the bleed. And if I was a tank, I wouldn't be looking to commit. I'd look at Peter. He's not even moving. He's just
staring at them. Yeah. And they're giving it to him. Like, they're going,
and he's taking 40 chip over the past, like, 30 seconds.
They're going for needless deagle chip. They finally got ammo, and they're still bleeding out.
And the SI know, too.
Sit there.
The SI know. They're not even thrown in. They're like, we're just going to let you bleed.
There's no reason to. They're giving him all the sight in the world. He's just going to sit there and stare at them until they're slow, and then this is going to turn into some odd wipe at some point in this map. I don't think they're going to make the safe room with this now. Like, they're going to be slow, and if you see the damage spread, they're all in the 40s right now. Sick is still bleeding out. He is about to go slow, and the tank is just staring at them. That's really all he needs to do. Now we have a survivor slow. The hit's still up, and the tank can just sit there and probably decide to throw a couple more rocks. He's going to try to throw one in right now. Throwing it in, not going to land, and now he does have to make a decision as to whether or not he wants to try to either commit this or, like, stay up there and keep playing Perma-Rock Tank. I have a feeling that they're probably keep playing Perma-Rock Tank, because that Smoker, actually not Smoker, the Hunter and the Jockey, never mind, they're not going to play Perma-Rock Tank, he's going to commit. That car is going in, Boom manages to get a single boom, car is going across, knocking to land, pushing another one of those boxes in, stumbling everybody around. Peter going in, hits the multi-punch for 2 in-caps, and the wipe on to Team Penguins. What a beautifully played tank.
The noise that double hit mate, along with the boat just exploding, was beautiful. Wonderfully played tank there by Peter Griffin. And that will be the round there. So we see Team Pubstar maintaining that 400-point lead going into map 4.
Again, that area, just stupid things happening that wouldn't usually. The Fires just sat there and gave him all the sight in the world, as everybody except for one person, I think, was bleeding out. Or at least half of them were bleeding out. And the tank just sat there and stared at them. They should have moved to the crates on the side and just LOS'd. Like, that's all they really needed to do, was keep that rotation a little bit more. But they sat there, waited for the hit, and then the Pubstars made them pay for it beautifully.
yeah, that was just wonderfully played by them. And I'm really surprised. I don't know why Team Penguins just sat there. They had to have realized that he had free LOS and there was, nothing happening. So they were clearly playing into the SI hands. And they just sat there and they let it happen. I don't get it.
I don't either, but like I said, just stuff like that in that area. I don't know what it is about that map or what it is about teams in this tournament. Just that area just having a couple things happen that you don't usually see. Tech's going to be at 59% here. We do have the Pubstars on the Survivor side and Team Penguins on the Special Infected. I mean, if you're Pubstars now, this is the first substantial lead that you've had. You haven't played the prettiest game in the world, but you're winning. That's the most important part.
Yeah, and I mean, once again, once they go into the away game for themselves, they're still not going to be in that bad of a position. They're going to have really relatively good ping on the server as well.
Right, like that's the question where it's like there's really like there's not really a huge difference between the two, just due to the fact in general that like the pings are going to be so close. And I mean, this is the point now where Team Pubstars, if they make this map, and they can put a lot of pressure on to Team Penguins. I think we are on live right here. Penguins are going to be on the SI side first, as I did mention, and their first is going to be a Boomer, Hunter, Spitter, and a Smoker off of this, working their way, not downtown, but at least trying to somehow get outside. The Survivors know that it's 2-2. We'll see if they decide to stay in or try to bait it out. They're going to try to bait out. That Smoker can go out off a single boom. Double boom now does land. Hunter got skeeted, and that's going to be only about 3 damage going out on that first hit, except with a little bit of common choke because of the horde that got called in from the tri-boom, rather, not the double boom. We were still waiting for Kiss Me to get back, so we will see if he just put his camera in the right place or not. Smoker is going for a despawn right now, trying to open up another potential for a hit in this open area. It's going to be a Smoker, Hunter, Jockey, and a Spitter. Okay hit for the open field right here because they have most of the movable caps. Let's see exactly if they can make the most of it. Smoker's going to go over there. Nice double cap landing with that Hunter and Jockey real fast, real quick with a stick going down top of that as well. Yeah, not a whole lot of damage going out though.
I know what to do with this.
It's me still AFK, so that's right. Let's see if Team Pubstars can make their way without taking a whole lot more damage prior to this tank as well. I think right now that they have the momentum a little bit and they're able to carry what, this 3 or 4 shotguns. 3 shotguns, 1 I think that's the right call too. Able to keep playing it, taking to the Penguins, see if the Penguins can respond at all. That Boomer is going to get a single boom out in front. A little bit of ship damage going out from those common, holding onto Rochelle in the back. Hunter, Charger, Smoker for the rest. Smoker is chipped a little bit. We do have the nice double cap going out right there with a, I think that was a double charge as well, and then another rolling double cap thanks to that Smoker getting the repull onto Rochelle, who was also boomed after that Hunter landed and that aforementioned double charge. So again, no split to maximize that, but a pretty nice amount of chip damage coming out from the Penguins so far. Let's see, Survivors pushing their way through this next area, and Tank should be up somewhat soon. They should be able to push it a little bit further forward. Boomer, Jockey, Smoker, and a Spitter, so 2-2. Boomer's going to go in right now. Manually a beautiful quad boom. Jockey does get M2'd in the back. M2'd again, shut down. Smoker got cleared. Spitter did also not find that much damage on that due to the fact it's an open field, but again, Kiss Me, welcome back. We saw a pretty good amount of damage come out from those first couple Penguins hits.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what happened to Josie. Did that literally just happen right now?
There was a hit where there was like a double charge plus a pounce with one person boomed, and there was a rolling 2 cap on that as well. So Josie ate the charge, and I think he also got slammed a couple times, maybe once or twice.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, sorry about the camera work there, after a second. I had a call that came in, so I had to take it. There's some in my work. But yeah, there's no hit coming in. Charger, Smoker both getting shut down. Boomer lands a single boom out onto Soul. Rock coming in here from the hands of Flavex, and that's probably going to blow up in midair. Indeed it does. So yeah, let's see what Flavex decides to do. Hits 2 cars in towards the Survivors. Those are really good positions for 1 hit.
Yeah, 2 cars to the price of 1 hit right here. The Survivors probably are going to decide to take him back towards those pillars in the water to try and stop those hittables from doing a whole lot of damage, but he's got the 2 cars on the left side of the boat right now, left side of the boat of course from the tank's perspective, and he has 1 car in front of it as well. He could also decide to drop down and go for dumpsters and get all the hittables he possibly could, but he's actually going to go up to the bridge right here, play a little bit of a rock tank I guess, because Josie did commit his 1 set of pills. They found another set, and it's going to be a Jockey, Charger, and a Hunter, but actually no, he's going to go for the commit here. That car is in. That car is on not in a very good spot. Yeah, that's not a very good spot at all.
But he has
this
2
other
cars.
car, yeah, he does. This other car is going to come in trying to knock it over the top. That's going to be a pretty good hit, but then they're going to force him Oh, that car bouncing a little bit too high. I thought that was going to clip either Ellis or Rochelle, but instead the tank is going to commit on this. And there's the car onto Peter Griffin. Double cap landing in the back as well. This, or not double cap, rather just one single cap plus the charger missing. Going for his cars once again. He has 3,000 HP, and the survivors need to play this aggressively right here. I think that's exactly what they're going to do to make the play. And that car over onto Ellis, almost clipping Soul as well. This should be a death on a Peter Griffin if the tank plays it correctly. This last car hit is going to get it. So that's just about what you could ask for from the Pubstars, rather from Penguins in that area onto the Pubstars. The Pubstars, unfortunately, they got a little bit frazzled when that one car hit went in, I think, and that's why Peter Griffin moved back and accidentally caught it.
Yeah, that was incredibly close, that first attempt on the pickup by Soul out onto Peter Griffin, as you mentioned. But unfortunately, he got a little bit too scared by that car, rolled a little bit too close. And Boomer does actually miss, though, so that's going to be a little bit godsend there. 14 Pubs are not going to cause any horde to actually trickling out onto them. But they do have that Hunter and Smoker to deal with, obviously, with the Spitter on the same roof as the Smoke. So we'll see what ends up happening here. They might just wait for that fourth spawn, which would be an okay tactic as well. It could definitely be a Charger, and that would set them up pretty nicely for this gravel hill up ahead.
Would be optimal, of course, but I think the survivors here, they still have a pretty good bonus just with 3 players at this point, and they still have 3 sets of pills, lots of permanent health, so that tank did a pretty good job. It's going to be a Smoker, Spitter, Hunter, and a Jockey, so instead of a Charger for this area, and I think the survivors are going to just decide to work their way around the top. Josie's expecting some kind of Charger, but obviously they don't know that the SI team doesn't have that. The tri-cap could obviously happen. Hunter going as well. There's the double cap. Josie's going to get the clear on the Hunter and then also manages to M2 and shut down that Jockey. Plus the clear goes out on the bomb. That could have been a lot worse, but it's still going to be a hard time for the survivors getting back up this horrible hill.
Yeah, I mean, that attack in of itself dropped the health bonus for the survivors down around like 200 HP, so that's pretty massive. And that was only really a Smoke and a Hunt landing there. But regardless, we'll see Team Pubstar once again make their way to the top of the crane here and start moving the way back down towards the boat. And they have probably another 2 good hits to go through. And it looks like for this next hit, we'll be seeing a Hunter, Boomer, Charger, and a Smoker. So another tri-cap potential here. That Charger has to land, though. He's the only SI who doesn't really have an instant recharge. And Smoker grabbing a pull onto Soul on the backside. It's 1 cap secured. Hunter getting blown up, though, and that's a double charge. Nick gets hit almost in the water. Oh, my God.
Wow, and the Witch is getting aggroed as well. Josie's going to be forced to come back right here. Obviously, the Boomer trying to go out as well. Soul is almost dead from that horde. I think this is going to be the wipe going out because that's going to be the double boom, and that's unfortunate for Pubstars. Yeah, I thought Nick was dead on that charge.
Indeed. I mean, we just saw a beautiful kill come out, and Nick's actually going to go for the crown. The jockeys have none of that, though. Going to go ahead and drag him back in the map, not even giving him the distance points of going to the Witch, and it puts him into the water. So that will be the round there for Team Pubstar. And as I was saying, let me just also say they got 511 distance points, and obviously no health bonus to speak of. But we could see a wipe still come out here on the Team Penguins to equalize this, if not a singular kill out onto one of their players, because there's a lot of cars to work with. And we did see that earlier in the matching game where they kind of just went full on commits. They bought 1 car in each, whereas we just saw literally Penguins bring in 3 cars. So there's plenty to be had, and we'll see what they decide to do here. And did I just get juked out? I think I got juked out with Ready Up. But regardless, now we are alive.
You know, the other thing is there are a couple dumpsters too, I think, you could bring in. So there's like a maximum of 5 hittables he could screw with in order to try to get that wipe. And it is a wipeable tank area, but it's not very high in terms of percentage, I don't think. I mean, that kill was really good to have that come out from Penguins in that area. So if they make the save from here, they would put themselves in great position. And Pubstars is going to have to know that their SI is going to have to be on point in terms of what they decide to do. The first is going to be a Smoker, Boomer, Hunter, and a Spitter. Hunter's up top right there. I think the Russians already see him. Let's see if they can pick that Hunter first. There's obviously nothing going, and most of them are actually tunneling that Hunter up there. One survivor looking at the back, and again, the baiting game here is something that we've seen happen a few times across these first couple of chapters, and we're going to see it continue here. Smoker spawns up in the front, trying to get a pull out. Not going to work, getting chipped a little bit. Boomer's going to drop in a nice double boom to open up the rest of the attack. And I think the rest of them are going to try to work their way in, or maybe not. They're going to have to save.
I would be surprised if they threw the attack in right now. I think the Smoke has already chipped down very heavily, down to 60 HP. That's like 3 Uzi bullets, 1 shotgun blast anywhere on him. Hunter works his way in, does land a single pounce out onto Zoe, or Rashad, I should say, and the Smoker grabs a pull out onto Nick, and that will both be quickly cleared off. I swear, these mix-up of the portraits and actual player models is like killing me. I continually say the counterpart of them.
Yeah, exactly, and it's you can't ever technically be correct because in the HUD it's one way and in the actual game it's another.
Yeah.
So there's so much room for error, unfortunately, making our jobs even harder than it usually is. But Spitter, Jockey, Boomer, and a Smoker, so a 2-2-4 for this open field hit. I don't really know if they're going to decide to send it in the open field because this has the chance of doing approximately 0 damage off of this. And yeah, they're going to wait for the survivors to push their way a little bit closer. Boomer actually jumping to the tree there, trying to get something, but actually forcing himself to go back inside. And this is similar now to what we've seen Pubstars do in a couple of the earlier maps in terms of just blitzing through, not letting the SI get a whole lot of hits, and then baiting it out.
Indeed. So let's see what they can make happen here. Once again, they have this sort of weak 2-2 with that Jockey and Smoker to work with, along with the Spitter and Boomer, obviously. But Boomer looking like he wants to go in from inside. Rochelle taking a bit of friendly fire there. Looks like they were trying to clear some common out fire barrels and ended up actually FFing quite a bit. But now the Boomer, his spawn has been compromised, so they're going to go ahead and work their way right inside. Boomer not having spawn just yet. Smoker, Spitter shut down at the window. Jockey works his way towards Ellis. Not going to find it. Boomer proxying onto Nick. And these fire barrels will slow them down a little bit. They have to wait for them to die up before moving their way forward.
I think because of that sack order team, Pubstars is going to get a pretty good hit. Actually, Penguins have done a pretty good job with point control so far off those first couple 2-2s. Again, not that really hard to do considering the fact that the SI hits haven't been that good, but let's see if they can mitigate the damage on the next couple of chokes up here, because we've seen a lot of damage actually go out when they get close to this building. We have that Smoker spawning up in the back, getting a pull onto Ellis, is going to be cleared. Charter going in, trying to find the land, and actually does find the land onto Rochelle. Nice double cap in the back too. That Hunter did barely get cleared before that landed. That's the first substantial damage we've seen from a pretty good hit by Pubstars.
Yeah, that was actually really nice. Sick and Field both taking quite a chunk of damage, probably like 30 and 20 damage respectively. And we will see them go ahead and make their way up towards the tank. I believe they have to make it to the end of this next barge. And by end of barge, I mean over on the right side. They have to walk their way across to it. And then tank should spawn up here. So let's see who gets tank and how it goes. Actually, there's only one player who hasn't had tank yet. Yeah, I believe it's Spongy. Indeed it is. And there's the attack going in. Both SI yet again going for the same survivor. I'm not too sure why they keep going for the same person. It seems like since map 1, they've really been just hitting the same survivor over and over. And I could understand if there was like a spit and a boom and a dog pile happening, but it's literally like Hunter, Jockey, Smoker, everyone just going for the same person. It's like there's no real reward there.
Exactly, and this tank is going to do, I think, what we talked about here, getting all of the hittables possible, knocking that hatchback car up first, then he's going to go back to the red one here. I have a feeling right now he's probably in the mode where he's going to have to commit with whatever he's got, like, so they are going to want a pretty good open field hit. Going to decide to sack that charter. Smoker, Jockey they're going to keep. He's got his 3 cars right here, and like I said, I think those dumpsters, if I'm not mistaken, on the other side are hittable as well. Let's see what he decides to wing in. That car, hatchback going flying in, pretty good spot, pretty good bounce as well. That next car going in, both of them in front of the boat, and actually that one car is in front of the boat. He's on second pass though, 45%. He's got to start working his way in there. I think the survivors are going to give him a little bit of sight. Smoker, Jockey, Hunter for the actual commit, and this indeed will be said commit from Spongy's tank. Working his way in, I don't think it's time to skirt that one over there either. He's going to have to play point control with his hatchback. Hatchback going in, bouncing off the wall, ricocheting, putting the survivors forward, moving away from the hittables now, working and getting the initial punch onto Nick, another punch onto Nick, trying to get the in cap on him, now does find it. They are going to try to go for the intercept here onto Rochelle, so there's the 2 cap. Car is coming out now too, and that hasn't been cleared. Car going in, missing Ellis. He's moving back. Rochelle has been cleared. Getting the rock, moving back. That was really, really dangerous for a second there for the survivors. Car going back through, and I think Spongy, wow, that almost hit Ellis in the face. I think the mistake he made right there is that shooting that car at Ellis was going for the white, but he could have turned around, and he had a hit both on the hunted and the smoked guy, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I saw both of them, and I was like, oh my god, the greed. I know if I was in his position, I would have went for the hit on Ellis. I don't blame him. I would have definitely shot that car over at Ellis, tried to, end the round right there. But, it's kind of like risk reward, and obviously Ellis still able to move around freely. He was able to dodge that incoming car. And so we'll see Team Penguins continue with the map here, with also the addition of the survivor that Team Pubstar kind of lost during their tank fight. So they will be starting to gain back on distance points right now, along with the health points they still have left in their possession. There's a nice triple cap happening right off the bat. Beautifully played. The third RSI got, obviously destroyed. I believe it was a boomer, and that will be the attack over and done with, but that was still a beautiful hit.
Really good hit, but I don't know if they're going to have a charger now for this choke. Obviously, the choke is still really annoying to deal with, even if they don't have a charger, but the charger makes it like death charge potential. We've seen that happen a couple times in the matches this week. This match is going to be virtually tied going into the finale, I'm pretty sure, especially if Team Penguins can push past this. But they do actually get the charger, Boomer, Spitter, and a Hunter, so nothing really to set the charger up, but they could still land something pretty good here, I guess. But again, if Penguins makes it past this, it should be almost a virtual tie.
Yeah, I mean, the health bonus is, what, 500? Yeah, they're actually at 501 right now. So they are, once again, virtually tied at the moment. They do have a very nice setup here, though, with that 2-2. If that boomer can land as they come over the crescendo of that, or the summit, I should say, of that mound, we can see a big hit coming. But they're actually going to play very smart. They walk around the backside of the hill. They trigger the horde, and they quickly make their way back. Hunter looking for a DP here, not going to find it, though. Actually, they're in a very interesting spot. I've never seen a Survivor team take the event here.
And they're in a rectangle, essentially, so this is interesting. Their spawn's pretty much all around them, plus the horde coming in. I'm not exactly sure, but how many common are there here? Not a whole lot, right?
I think it's 150.
Is it 150? That would be interesting.
Yeah,
I
something like
used
that.
to think... I didn't think it was that bad, because I remember Survivors could also hold this up. The thing is, Lewis is also bleeding out, and he's going to be slow in a second, aka Coach. So that also allowed the SI to get a smoker up as well. I think the horde is mostly dead now.
All right, maybe it was just 50.
Yeah, I don't think it was a whole lot. Smoker's going to go for his pull, managing to land it onto Coach for a second there, but then they're going to be forced to back up. There is more Common Horde coming in now. Another insta-clear onto that tongue, and the Charger is left a little bit alone right now. Spit's going to go down, trying to land onto Coach, not going to work, and now it's just the Charger up. Penguins working their way across from the other side. Oh, dear Lord. They're going to see the Charger in a second. Charger's going to be forced to go in pretty much by himself. Spongy, what are you doing? The Survivors see you. Going for the charge, landing it on a Coach, and they are not going to get that clear.
That Charger literally had 5 HP left when he got killed off, or when he got that incap out of Spongy. And indeed, that will be obviously.
No.
There's a jockey on the opposite side of the gravel hill.
Oh, no.
Smoker for the intercept. No,
Oh,
Napoleon.
That sucks for Team Penguins right there. Rochelle is all the way down below. The Hunter can still play the intercept game here, and that is how things fall apart that quickly. They have to go all the way back down the hill.
They're not going
to
down.
pick that. Oh, and the Hunter just died. But yeah, so there's no way. That's a death.
There's no way that they're going to go back for him. They're going to let Sick just die off down there. Now we have Flavix and Feel both on low HP, down in the reds, full bleed out. Lion, the only green survivor left. And that's going to be a single boom going out to Nick and draw all the horde out towards him. Charger for the first spawn along with the boom, and then the jockey and smoker. So they have this tri-cap all set up and ready to go. They can literally just scratch down both Ellis and Coach before making this move. Or I should say Nick and Coach both get scratched down. But anyway, attack him in now. Charger going for a Hail Mary charge, not going to find it. Coach actually FF down Nick, and that's going to be a lot of punches going on the survivors. Another punch on the back of Ellis. And Flavix is about to take an incap here as well, as he has 1 HP left to his name. And
There's a down. There's a down from the common. Boomer going for the arc boom again here. About to launch it in on the survivors. He's just waiting, biding his time. I think Ellis knows this is what's happening right here. Trying to go for that pick. Some juking going on here from the SI team. Nice boom going out onto Nick. So it's still a 300-ish point game, depending on if Penguins wipe around here. Let's see if there's a way for Team Pubstars to pull it off. It's going to be a Hunter, Smoker, and a Spitter. Pull going out in the back. We do see the tongue cut going out. And there's the pull out on a Coach. Gonna drag him all the way back. Hunter going for scratch up there. Not being M2, killing Nick as a matter of fact. Hunter staying beneath now, trying to juke his way in. Running along the side, gonna pounce, get skeeted. But again, that's only 2 survivors left in working order.
Indeed, they do have that witch getting a little bit aggro now. It's going to be interesting to see who actually goes for it. Sick is almost dead there in the background. And there goes the crown attempt onto Alice. He fails it. Coach grabs the second shot, though. But Flavix only with 9 HP left to his name. Boomer almost double Charger off the edge, but he will get the death charge, and that will seal the deal here. I can't believe Boomer almost killed the Charger. But regardless, they don't make it either with a total distance score of 548. So around a 37-point gain for them, and they're going to be 340 points down, 338 points down, going into the finale here on the home server for Team Pubstars. So really close game thus far, and I mean it was expected because both these teams are going to have good pings on both of these servers, and you might as well just call it a double home game.
Almost like the pings
Don't
are
matter.
equal. I don't know. There's some math behind this. I mean, hey, you gotta talk about your milliseconds here, right? You gotta cut it into like quarters and like you're dividing it just to make sure that you can find the exact server where the latency would be. Oh wait, that doesn't exist in Left 4 Dead 2. I forgot. Hey, we're going live right here, and actually, wow, that was really weird. There were 2 people actually not rated up for that to happen. Now we're going live, and the Pubstars are going to be on the Survivor side defending their over 300-point lead. Special infected side is going to be a Boomer, Hunter, a Spitter, and a Smoker for the Penguins to start. And yeah, I mean, Pubstars is in a pretty good position right here. They don't have to be really too worried going away to the other server because it's really not an away game for them either. So hits going in, we do see a single pull going out there. Nice skeet by Spongy in the safe room onto that Hunter as well. Pretty good individual shutdowns right there besides the 13 damage.
Indeed, he was completely separated because of the 2 spits that were outside the door, and he took care of business inside there once again with that Hunter. Smoker still up in the background. We could see a bit of a cheeky pull come out here onto Rochelle if they are not careful, but that Smoker looks like he's going to grab a despawn instead of actually going for that separation pull. And yeah, so we'll see Survivors actually go and start the generators. Once again, for you that don't know how this crescendo actually works, there are 3 generators, not both, but all 3 have to be started at some point in time, and then once they're all started, they will draw the bridge down, which the Survivors can go ahead and climb up and stuff.
And the tank for Team Penguins is going to be up in the hands of Phil right here. And again, all Pubstars, I can say Pubstars have the ability probably to make this map, but this tank's going to be forced to commit in right now. Actually, not commit. He's just going to take 2,000 chip. That was a really stupid idea.
That was a hell of a spawn. That was very unfortunate for him. He might as well have just committed there.
Yeah.
And that's something that we've seen happen in these games. The tank spawns aren't static, which is a good thing for, well, some of these tank spawns because they're really iffy. And the Stars can really abuse it once they know exactly where the tank spawns. So it's kind of good that it's random. Unfortunately, that was a very bad random for that tank. He spawned right in the alleyway at the front of it. And right in front of, you know, all 4 survivors that all had shotguns at the time, and they actually still do. So Pubstars just railed into him. And once again, he's down to 3,600 HP.
He was in an okay spot. He was inside. Like, he could have just waited for the survivors to move. He didn't have to jump down there and then take 2.5 chip or whatever he just took. Now, the survivors are inside. They're in a pretty good position for this. And yeah, this tank is going to be dead almost by the time he gets a corner. He's going to miss that punch onto Rochelle, missing the second punch onto Rochelle, edging to finally corner Rochelle after a couple of hits right there, but then Rochelle's going to try to get out of it, trying to hit a punch onto Soul, and he does manage to land it, missing that punch as well. Damn.
That was well taken.
King not doing a whole lot there to help those long arms out either. I don't know.
I hate you, Real. Stop trying to start stuff. Stop.
Hey, there's another tank. Let's see if they can do it again. So, FlaviX has the second tank for Team Penguins right there. Let's see if he decides to take 2K chip. I don't think he's actually going to. Survivors are instead going to push up to the, I guess that's a nicer area, I guess, up by the picnic benches too. Tank trying to hit his car in. It's going to be a Jockey, Smoker, and a Hunter for his first round of support. And there is still a little bit of horde coming in from the generator trigger.
Indeed, there is. This horde should die out here in a couple seconds, though. It's not that much. I believe it's like 50 per generator. So they should die out here in a couple seconds. He's actually going to bring in all the cars, though. He's bringing in everything that is possible. Even the dumpster, he's going to go ahead and hit that, isn't he? Yep, he's going to go ahead and whack that one as well. He's bringing everything. If that van wasn't nailed to the ground, he'd take that thing in, too.
I mean, he probably could try.
He just tried to. He just like face checked and was waiting for the outline to show, and he's like, "I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit you in." So there's 3 cars, a dumpster, and a partridge and a pear tree out on the street for this tank. And yeah, we gotta see what he decides to do here. Already taking 500 chip
4
here.
4 cars actually.
4? Oh yeah, he has the other one up by the dumpster. Never mind.
Okay.
Double car hit going up, almost hit connecting on else. That's interesting because that kind of separates the survivors. They're actually gonna go inside the pool hard, playing it safe. Call. Yeah, they don't want to be eating this. And they could actually rotate out here and go back towards the only last generator that hasn't been triggered yet if they wanted to. Because there's no cars left.
Standing there, right? And when the car came down, he was just kind of like looking at them to see if that was going to land or not. The tank's taken over 1,000 chip, and that's the right call. They're going to work their way back to the other generator here and fight him in this area. All of his hittables in the other direction. So Jockey, Smoker, Hunter is going to be what they have to commit with, I'm pretty sure. Let's see if they can pull it off or not. Okay, so he's going to go in, getting eaten by the survivors, missing that punch onto Rochelle, managing to land the second one. Hunter going in, Soul is going to get pulled right there. Nice skeet by Peter Griffin, nice dumpster hit as well onto Peter Griffin. That was the last hittable that he had in this area. Trying to throw a curve rock there, not going to land, turning back around, trying to catch Nick. So just 1 in-cap taken right there. They still have 4 sets of pills, rather 3 sets of pills on the table and 3 in their hands.
Indeed, they're in a very good shape right now. Team Pubstar might be the first team of this week to actually make this. I don't believe any other team has actually made this yet. And with that being said, the 3rd tank is now up. And yes, there are 3 tanks on this finale. It is quite hectic. It goes by pretty quick, though. It's not like a very long wait out. It's just instead of the wait out, you have 3 tanks.
I think, unfortunately, for Lion right here, who has his 3rd tank for Penguins, they aren't
he has no hittables.
That many hittables. Yeah, he hasn't hit that one hatchback down in the street, so that's the only one that he can really use. But I think he might decide to commit with the rest of this horde coming in from the generator, along with the boom that went out, or he's going to climb to the roof instead and try to play rock. That's an okay idea. Hunter and Smoker for the next hit coming out right here. I mean, the survivors are still pretty hoarded at this moment. Smoker's going to try to get a pull in front, not going to get much of anything. Rock does get skeeted. Smoker's trying to pull again, not going to work, down to about half health. They got another boomer. Smoker goes in, decides to sack itself, and that rock is going to get skeeted.
Very nice heads-up play though by Team Pubstar thus far. And it's also noted their health bonus stands at a 760 right now. Hunter lands along with the double boom. This might also be a proxy on Nick. No, it only proxies on the two survivors that have already been boomed. And that's good for them. They're going to be able to actually push inside here if they wanted to. Try and maybe bait this tank into jumping down. But now Nick, the only survivor stuck outside, this tank's not going to let them reconvene. Yeah, this tank's going to drop in and try to stop him. They're going to rotate back towards the last generator they just started, I think. Yeah, they're all on the railing. They're dropping. But the Charger's there. The Charger's ready.
Maddie Nolano to Josie right there. Does get cleared. Tank does have a corner. Actually, the Smoker went for the same corner right there. And now he does have that punch onto Ellis, running around, trying to get him down. Melees have come out. Nice triple punch going out. Another double going out, too. A little bit too greedy from the Pubstars right there, I think. Trying to go for those melee finishes. The tank is down to about 300 HP. Again, more melee weapons going out. But this tank is going to get pistoled to death. Josie's going to pick his team back up. That was an interesting call, I think, to transition out right there, but that Charger really put a dent in Pubstar's plans.
Yeah, that's a big damage blow. A nice charge as well back inside the doorway out onto Alice, putting him back up against the jukebox. And now there's only the Smoker left. He's going to get a very cheeky pull here on Alice in the back. Not going to delay the pickup. The bridge is also coming down now for the survivors. So they can actually make it to the bridge here, which we might actually have to see one of them sacrifice themselves if they get this pickup, which the Common are not allowing right now.
Spit. Oh, that spit going onto the Justin survivor. Actually, that killed Ellis.
Indeed, and the thing is, if only one survivor makes it on there, I believe he has to sacrifice himself. So there might not be any survivors making this.
Yeah, you need two in order to actually get it. They're going to try to give those pills to... They have one set of pills still on the table there. I don't know if they realize that or not. Hunter going in, managing to land onto Soul, and there's a lot of separation on the field right now. Josie does self-clear there. Soul is going to go down. They need to pick Soul up and then get those last sets of pills in order to, or that one singular set of pills, actually, or is it two? No, it's just one. So once they do that, then they should be able to actually maybe make the sacrifice, because everyone is going to be fast. Soul is going to take those pills. He is also black and white. So we could actually see not a full team making it, but 2 out of 4, rather.
Indeed, so Peter Griffin going to be the survivor that was killed off so far, and now there will be another one joining him in a couple of seconds here as the survivors go ahead and start the bridge. It raises back up to its default level, and now they actually Spongy doing a bit of a trick there somehow. It didn't have to go all the way up, but he's actually going to go and make way towards the generator. Looks for it, not going to find it though, but the jockey will go and latch onto him. Going to go ahead and kill him off. Coach as well getting capped, and now Nick up there all alone and caps himself. What? What just happened to Nick?
He climbed up the ladder and just hit spacebar, went flying down and killed himself.
Nick just like fucking shut up in the air and dropped down.
Yeah, he just freaking fell off and just like went flying.
I just saw this red outline go whoosh. Oh my god, what was that?
He was on top of the ladder, right? He fast climbed up, hit spacebar, ricocheted up, and bounced down. Oh my god.
It's fucking shit that happens in this game, man. Can't believe that. What?
Oh, Joe. He was a bonus, too. He did such a good job of keeping his health bonus until that point, and then... Obviously, okay, so up by 1,000 before the finale starts. Penguins have 3 tanks to kill, and then they also have to make the sacrifice. I expect Pubstars to probably play the first tank a little bit differently, because like I said, even if it spawns in that house for whatever reason, they should be able not to take that much shit where they go out. Like, I don't know. I feel like that was just a problem that we saw that was a little bit mishandled by Penguins, but again, they're on Survivor side now. They should be able to do a pretty good showing. It's gonna be a Smoker, Boomer, Hunter, and a Spitter for the first hit here. But if I'm Team Pubstars, I'm feeling like it's well in hand at this point, but I want to wipe them as soon as possible.
Yeah, you don't want to let them claw anything back. You want to get that first tank wipe. You know, obviously grab those 600 points that are possible for the lead going into the next game. An attack coming in here. Hunter looking for a line on the Coach, or Rochelle up front. Doesn't actually find it. All along with the stumble, or the semi-stumble, I should say, on the Coach inside the spit. So that was actually a decent amount of damage out on his sick, but that is all they will reap from that hit. And they're going to continue moving the way up through the map here, going for the exact same first generator that we saw Team Pubstar just go for, the one all the way to the left. And that will be their first destination. Probably, if they followed the same suit, they'd move for the one inside of the next, inside of the building where the next generator is. I don't know what to call it, really. A factory, I guess?
Warehouse, maybe?
Maybe.
That sounds a little bit better. But we have a Hunter, Jockey, Spitter, and a Boomer coming in. Yes, factory thing. We have that one survivor separate up there. He's going to get DP'd in Spit. He's completely alone. He actually might take a down. That should be, if that Spit damage reges, close to it.
Oh, 4 HP.
Wow, that's really unfortunate. He got that split that he did. I don't know, just 49 pings, kind of hard to play on, so I guess he got a little distracted.
Shut up.
Oh, now we should see a tank somewhat soon too. I don't know, for team, because again the tank was almost instantaneous. And let's see, we have pills instead of pipe bombs, so that does help a little bit. So that's good. So we have Spitter, Smoker, Boomer, and a Jockey coming in right now. I'm seeing I don't know, a difference here in terms of when the tank spawns. You know what I mean? And like there's a wave of horde net of the insta tank.
Indeed. So let's see what ends up happening here. And Team Penguins doing a very good job of shutting everything down here. The tank should be up here momentarily as they did trigger that first. And indeed, there it is. So, tank coming up in the hands of Peter Griffin here. And it's going to be in a fairly good position, actually.
They call him Peter Griffin.
Yeah, I know it's grief. Like, as in, you know, I grief people in this game. But I just say Griffin because it's Peter Griffin. Go ahead.
This is true. Tank committing in right here. Imagine to get an early corner onto Rochelle. Actually misses the incap and got caught on the tent. Now he's gonna get the punch again, but Rochelle did get her pills off, knocking her around a little bit more. Smoker pull goes out. Nice pounce onto Rochelle in the back as well. Tank is working his corner over here onto Nick. That's a full incap going out. Tank down to 700 HP, but manages to get the punch on a coach. Another punch on the coach, killing his own Smoker. Going to get his way out. That's a pretty good amount of damage from Peter Griffin's first tank, and that was a good idea to commit there, I would say.
Yeah, he got a good amount of damage, as you mentioned, but once again, not the wipe that they wanted. 6 still incapped at the moment, but they are picking him up, so he is back up now. They only have 1 set of those left on their beings, and that is now popped onto Sick. And we're going to see Peter Griffin actually go ahead and back himself up. Shut up, Rails.
No. I'm just looking. I'm looking at Prince in chat, because Impulse said this finale is really stupid, and Prince is like, you haven't seen stupid, you've seen 2 tanks at once.
Oh, yeah, that's great, especially when they start all the generators at once. Then you get 3 tanks, and it's like, oh, look at that. I love tanks. It's like we're playing the mutation tank. Everyone gets one.
Exactly. And you know what? I think speaking of that, without even killing this tank, I think Penguins are going to start the second generator. So we could actually have a premonition in chat right there. We can see 2 tanks at the same time, depending on how long Peter Griffin keeps this tank alive. He only has 236 HP, and we do see 2 tanks.
2 tanks.
Second tank is up in the hands of Soul. There's a car going out too. Soul's tank. Nice rocks from the Peter Griffin tank. Punch from the Soul tank coming out.
We got some wonderful support coming from these rocks from the tank in the hands of Peter Griffin. Soul's tank is just going wild, pushing in with the great support. This tank, you don't know which tank's going to hit you first.
Soul's tank is going to start trying to move his way out right now. I think the Russians have realized that they've done something really, really weird. That tank's going to get a car onto Rochelle. The other Smoker is, where is that Smoker? Trying to chase a little bit right there. This car hit going out as well. The Peter Griffin tank is also still on first pass, I'm pretty sure. Peter Griffin tank hitting a dumpster hittable. Soul tank hitting the other hittable. We have a Smoker going out right here. I hate you. Whoever in chat said that you haven't seen stupid, you've seen 2 tanks. This is exactly what we've got. Sitting there, they're baiting. Soul's got the corner, and that's what happens when you send 2 tanks at the same time. Both of them still alive.
What's better than 1 tank, Rails?
2 tanks.
2 tanks.
2 tanks. So hey, that's the 644 point lead going into game 2. So that's pretty good for Team Pubstars.
Yeah, you gotta be pretty happy with that. I mean, once again, it was pretty much equal pings, so you gotta take it. You gotta be like, all right, we pretty much just beat these guys on even grounds, and now we're going to another even ground server. So, you know, it might pull true and hold true, and you know, who knows? We might just see a replication of what we just saw.
We could, but yeah, I mean, that was a pretty evenly matched game, I would say so far. Penguins playing up the Pubstars level. Pubstars did do a little bit better on that finale. I don't know if that starting the second generator to get the second tank was intentional.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if it was either. I think they thought that maybe the tank would kind of commit or just go